Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's reading. Of course, you know me as Stan the Shadow Seeker, and we are continuing what I had promised, where we are following this new schedule of posting readings every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the remainder of the year for 2025. And I have really received a really interesting download, so to speak. It's more like the guidance or direction for the particular reading that I am culminating for the collective here. And so basically how I can describe this type of reading that I intend to do for my beautiful collective, I received sort of a message from spirit, and it really is this message of reclaiming power that was lost in a particular situation. And I get the sense that even though this came for me personally, I feel as if the collective is going through something very similar at the present moment. Now, keep in mind, this reading is timeless. So when it finds you, it's meant for you. There are certain messages that may not resonate for you since this is collective. So only take what truly resonates and leave what does not resonate for other people. And I'm sorry, I hope you didn't hear that in the background, but something had just kind of crashed in the background. I try my best to filter out, there it goes again, but I try my best to filter out all kinds of background noises. But anyway, yes, definitely use your intuition for the messages that need to come out here. But this is definitely a reading where we are going to be focusing on a past scenario. I do feel like it's primarily romantic. And by the way, I just saw 222 on my clock as I'm recording this. So that could be significant. I know we talk about angel numbers every so often. Sometimes we don't really get too specific with the angel numbers, but if angel numbers do resonate for you and you feel the need to look up 222, definitely look that up. Usually we see threes and usually we see ones, sometimes zeros, but 222 came out. And so I really just want us to, kind of take a moment and just sort of come in with a clean mind, a fresh slate. If you feel needed to take a deep breath or just kind of meditate before I begin, definitely do so. But just have a clear, open heart with what comes out in this particular reading. But I do feel like the strongest start of energy does have to deal with some sort of romantic situation with a divine counterpart, whether that is a karmic situation or a high level soulmate. It's going to look different for everyone, but I do feel like secondary energies that I'm picking up on could be family or friend related, or someone that was meant to show you some sort of spiritual lesson that needed to be integrated. So again, it's going to look different for everyone. So just keep that in mind. Just, have an open heart. And let's just begin here with the reading. So, what's really interesting is usually I do a very specific meditation before picking up on the collective energy of this particular collective. And if you are new here, I do channel a very specific collective of individuals that I know personally, but some of these messages do reach people outside the collective, and I do leave that energy open. So, everyone is more than welcome to join this particular collective. If you do like, share, comment on the videos, that definitely helps me pick up more in your energy for future readings. You get to help culminate the messages that come through here with your spirit team, your spirit guides, deities, whatever higher powers you believe in. But as I did this particular meditation, 3 cards definitely just kind of flung out as I was shuffling the deck before I actually begin the reading with the opening card. And it's really interesting. The world came out upright. And I really feel like this is very strong energy with the world card opening up with a major arcana card before the reading actually begun. But 2 other cards actually came out as well. as I was shuffling and just, picking up on the energy. And we have the Page of Wands in the upright position. We also have the Six of Wands in the reverse position. So, something definitely at this moment in time, as I am recording this for everyone, something is coming full circle. Something is encompassing itself as far as some sort of divine lesson or spiritual lesson or insight that your guides are wanting you to really recognize at this particular time. And that's why I say I feel like I received this particular download, this particular sort of jolt or nudge to do this particular reading here. And I feel like this is really heavy. Like I can feel a heaviness behind this because it just feels like something was lost and something needs to be reclaimed. And the way that it needs to be reclaimed is there's some sort of old lesson or something from the past where spirit or your guides are nudging you to notice some sort of pattern. It's like a behavioral pattern or something that is very significant that you need to really focus on at this particular time. But again, it's going to look different for everyone. Now, I do want to mention that we are in the last Mercury retrograde for the year in 2025. So that is actually very significant, I believe, to the energy of this reading. So if you do follow, the retrogrades, especially Mercury retrograde, that could be very significant here in this particular reading because Mercury retrograde definitely can be really heavy for the people that are very spiritually attuned. So I just want to point that out there. Now, what I'm also feeling here is that there's this major turning point for the collective because the world marks completion. So there is the closing of some sort of old cycle. Again, a behavioral pattern is what strongly is coming out here. But I'm also sensing something about scattered lessons, relationships, old paradigms, or identities. It's like right now, the collective has really learned what they really need to learn, and the chapter is finished, it's completed. So instead of racing into the next thing, Spirit is really wanting you to acknowledge and recognize the accomplishment that you've made it, that you're whole. Now, with the Page of Wands and the Six of Wands reversed here, there's this spark of renewal, inspiration, curiosity, the courage to explore life again with fresh eyes. And there's this passion that's returning after a long spiritual fatigue. That's a very strong thread of energy that I'm sensing from someone in the collective. So it's like this breath of fresh air has sort of returned into your life, or the light has returned in a sense. And it's definitely a new phase, a new chapter. Now, this rebirth that I'm sensing, it's not validation or public applause. That's not something that you're meant to be seeking right now. You're not meant to seek recognition for the healing that you've done. You're meant to embody it quietly. You're meant to integrate it quietly. So you may be feeling this sort of like energy of this brand new chapter, this renewal. You want to celebrate that, right? But it also feels like you're being guided to really take some sort of like sacred pause, almost like a hermit type of moment in a sense, and not really let your ego, kind of like dim something. I know it sounds really interesting, but I feel like that's going to connect with somebody very particular in the collective. So I just wanted to really point that out here. But you're being really invited right now to write from the heart instead of from whatever wounds that were present where this chapter has ended. So this is definitely some sort of like rebirth, renewal type of energy thread that I'm sensing here. But with that being said, I just want to, state that these cards came out before we actually drew the first card in the reading. So I'm going to be shuffling the tarot and we're going to be seeing exactly what comes out in this first position. Now, I intend to do a 5 card reading here, but if more cards come out, we will accept that. And we are just going to let spirit guide the reading here. So I'm going to be shuffling right now, and we're going to be seeing exactly what it is we need to know, what it is we need to hear concerning this download. Now, as I'm shuffling, I'm really sensing that there is this theme of reclaiming lost spiritual energy from past experiences. So let's see here what it is that was lost or given away. Okay, wow. So we have here the Temperance card, another major arcana card, and it actually came paired with the Three of Wands in the upright position, both cards. So, wow, this paints a really interesting thread of energy here. So, I'm sensing here very strongly that what was given away in the past, I'm sensing here that it was divine timing and trusting in the process. For me, what feels like with temperance, it's like the collective once lived in harmony with their inner rhythm, blending intuition and action together, holding on to that balance. But somewhere along the way, we as a collective have really started rushing results over giving, trying to force balance instead of allowing it to naturally flow. And so the Three of Wands actually really amplifies that theme of balance because this is like the visionary card in tarot. And so it's like part of us could see a future, something that's filled with like passion and like exploratory energy is what it feels like. And it's like the collective was patiently waiting, for something to come in. But somewhere along the road, it's like that patience and that faith was like traded for anxiety, self doubt, lower vibrational energy. And it's like the collective just sort of like handed over like the calm, like expectancy in exchange for like control or like external validation or approval. So I really feel like spirit is saying here, like what was given away wasn't like love or opportunity, but it was like serenity in the waiting. It's like the collective lost the art of letting things unfold naturally, is what this strong energy thread feels like. Wow. Okay. So we have the Queen of Cups in the upright position. And again, we have this pairing of cards. The Sun reversed came out. I can tell this is going to be a really interesting reading because just so much major arcana energy. So a lot of major energy in this particular reading that I'm culminating for the collective. And so I see what was given away here with this Queen of Cups. It's like many people in the collective really led with empathy, compassion, unconditional love surrounding the situation here. But you gave away your sense of divine timing, your sense of deep emotional nature, that is something that you really have within you. It's like a really strong personality trait that many of you in the collective really have. It's like you felt so deeply for others that you often placed their needs or validation above your own equilibrium. That's what this feels like. You wanted to heal, nurture, understand, and in doing so, it's like you poured more out than what you actually kept. That's what this feels like. Wow. And so with the sun, this really explains the cost of all that because somewhere along the way, it's like your joy dimmed. You lost clarity in the way that you love, in the way that you express your expressive nature. You gave your light away. You really believed that if others were happy, It's like that would make you happy too. So this is like, speaking to temporary disillusionment, times when optimism really turned into exhaustion, that sort of energy. So, but see, the sun is positive when it's reversed as well. Like it's the happiest card in the deck, whether it's upright or reversed. So I'm sensing for many of you, you didn't really lose your light. It's like you just simply let others stand in front of it. You chose to dim your light instead of letting it, flourish. So, this particular lesson, it was never about punishment. It was really spirit really showing you how vital your own joy and your boundaries are. And you can't warm others if your sun is dimmed, if your light is dimmed, if your energy is just diminished, if you're just giving it away, freely. Wow. So we got to see here, like, what's ready now for you to reclaim? Okay, we have the Queen of Pentacles in the upright position. I am so sorry. This is not the Queen of Pentacles. This is actually the Four of Pentacles. Okay. The reason why I thought it was the Queen of Pentacles is because there's a woman instead of a man in this particular tarot deck that I'm using. So, collective, what you are reclaiming right now is your sense of energetic security. So, this card, this message here really speaks of holding on to what truly matters in the present moment, which is your time, your peace, your own resources. And in doing so, you're doing it without guilt, without strings attached. Because I'm sensing in past cycles, you may have had scattered energy, really trying to prove a sense of worthiness or a sense of some sort of external validation to keep connections alive. There were strings attached. But now Spirit is really saying and urging you at this particular time to really draw that energy back and protect it. So this isn't about being selfish or, acting out of fear. It's about discernment. That's what this is really truly about. So right now in the present moment, it's like you're learning through signs or synchronicities or some sort of like divine signal. I'm getting like imagery of like, a bat signal, like now is the time, to not overextend, to really conserve your focus for stronger foundations is what this feels like, especially within connections in your life. So, Spirit is really asking you right now to reclaim stability, to honor the lessons that you've learned about balance and about investing your energy wisely. Because I'm sensing like saying no is like really hard for many people in the collective. So, when you're saying no, especially now, like you're saying it in a form of self respect. And Spirit is acknowledging that right now. And it's okay to say no. It's okay to create these healthy boundaries for yourself because you are allowed to hold your own sacred energy. And reclaiming doesn't always mean doing more, it means no longer leaking that energy, especially leaking what's truly precious for you in this particular moment. Your power really now is in the current moment. So here we have the Four of Swords in the upright position. So, in order for you to integrate this particular energy that I am talking about right here, it requires rest and reflection. So, not extending more effort, not overexerting yourself. You have to continue establishing these boundaries, is what it feels like. I'm sorry, I just had to take a really deep breath. I really feel like something needed to be exhaled. And I feel like that was for someone in the collective as well. Like it was just kind of like a chill for a second. So I feel like that's really prolific. But yes, resting, retreating, any kind of form of divine restoration, whatever that looks like for you, it's not about taking action, it's about stillness. So after these cycles of giving, overthinking, striving, it's like spirit right now is inviting you to breathe, to recover, to trust that healing continues even in the stillness, even in the quiet. For some reason, I'm going back to that hermit energy. And I really feel like that's going to connect for someone too in the collective. And I know the hermit is not here in this reading, but if you need to hermit yourself, definitely do it because there's no need to rush. Let things sync up naturally. Let this let this sacred pause come in for you. This integration phase currently, in order for you to reclaim this energy that I'm talking about, you just have to definitely allow time for the recalibration. So if that is in the form of journaling, meditation, or just simply turning off the noise for a while, going into nature, regrounding yourself into your hobbies, doing what it is that makes you center and hold, that's exactly what you need to be aligned in doing in order to set this integration into motion here. And so, the divine purpose of all of this that's culminating in the current moment here, we have a trio of cards. Okay, we have the Two of Wands reversed, we have the Devil reversed, and we also have the Magician energy here reversed. So, a lot of major arcana cards in this particular reading here. So, this is definitely major energy for the collective that I am picking up on. So, this is all talking about freedom to choose again, but to choose from truth, not illusion. So, there's definitely this past struggle to step forward because of plans or visions that were still rooted in fear or dependence on others. And it's like you were waiting for like permission or some sort of external validation or like some sort of like signal. Again, I'm getting like bat signal for like the perfect timing. But really, this portal of reclamation, you don't need like to wait anymore. Like the time is now. The path becomes clear when you trust yourself. And this like breaking of chains moment that I'm sensing as well, it's tied to old attachments, addictions, limiting beliefs, lower vibrations. And what once had the power over you, like not that power, but that hold on you, it no longer exists. It's no longer there. You're stepping out of that old paradigm or dynamic. And there is liberation that's going to be following all of this. And honestly, I'm seeing that, you're really proving yourself that you can walk away from something that once controlled you or held you back. Now, with this magician energy, okay, so I'm sensing this thread. It's almost like a warning in a sense, but it just warns against like manipulation, whether that's internal or external. And the power that you have now in the now moment, like it needs to be used ethically and intentionally. So it's like something that you're trying to manifest, I'm sensing for a small number of you. It's not about controlling that outcome. It's about co-creation. It's like, being one or in tandem with the universe and just allowing like a divine flow to come through you. But collectively here, Spirit is really asking here, like, you no longer need to seek control, approval, any kind of like manipulating shortcuts to get what you want. Right now, in the now moment, you're free from whatever had hold you back. And you're free to use your power so you choose, but you're being guided to use this power wisely and to let it really serve you for your highest timeline is what this feels like. So What I'm sensing here, really, for all the messages that came out here, it's like there's this collective reclamation, okay, about really taking back the energy that someone either took from you or you freely gave away. And it's really about returning to the center, returning to groundedness, because you've learned a lot about the power that you actually have within you. I'm sensing, but there's something that you need to take back, and I just feel like you are doing that, but you are being guided right now to not manipulate that power in any context, to really use that power wisely when it does return to you. And I do feel like for many of you, you will. I really truly believe that. Wow, just such a powerful reading, that I'm really sensing for this collective. I really feel like this is definitely different from a lot of the channeled messages that we've had before. So I'm actually really excited that we are keeping up with this schedule, because this has been a really interesting reading here, just with the energies that I am feeling. But this is where we are going to be concluding the reading. And as you know, I always draw a oracle card. I know actually recently several cards have been coming out. So we are just going to see what comes out. But the intention is to draw just one final card here to wrap up the reading. Okay, and we have two cards that actually flew out together. And the first one says healing. It says, your body, mind, and soul are in a period of deep healing right now. You're going through many transformations at once, and you're being asked to allow yourself to receive the healing you need with open arms and an open heart. That's very beautiful, and I know that's going to resonate with many people. The next card here, this is really interesting because I'm just looking at the imagery. I've never seen this card actually in any reading, but it says boundless possibilities. It says you're standing at the edge of limitless potential. Don't limit your dreams based on past experiences. Embrace the boundless possibilities that await you. And I love that it has this imagery of a child. I feel like for many of you, I don't know why I feel compelled to say this, but I feel like for many of you, it's like your inner child was lost in a sense, or something prolific really happened in your childhood that was taken away from you, or burdened you somehow, or caused a lot of strife or chaos. So you're being guided right now to reclaim something that was lost from your childhood or your inner child for others of you. Wow. Well, that's a beautiful place to end the reading. Thank you so much for extending your beautiful high vibrational energy to this reading video. I do hope something here connected or resonated with you in a very meaningful way. And I will definitely see you in the next reading, sending you lots of love, light, and happiness. And again, thank you so, so much for all your support, everyone, with the comments that you've been giving me in person about everything that we share in this virtual space. And again, I will see you in the next reading, which will be this Friday.